Hey guys, it's Nate, aka TheFutAccountant. Welcome back to the channel. The GOATs return today on FC 25 in Team of the Season, but the biggest news isn't about what's coming into packs, it's about an evolution. A build our own Evo is dropping today, allegedly, this time, Team of the Season center back related. The rumors are saying it gives 99 physical and the ability to choose the playstyle pluses that we put on the card. This at least sounds very interesting, but we've got to see how EA implement it. We're going to be talking a lot about that and looking at those leaks today, of course, looking at the full leak squad of cards coming into packs today for MLS, Rest of the World, and Saudi League Team of the Season. And we've got to talk about the SBC leaks and the market, because La Liga TOTS cards, very hyped, big name players, they're going out of packs. The prices are starting to rise, and I think there's opportunities to invest. And same thing with these new Chelsea cards. Let's talk about it, guys, and let's have a good Friday. If you're excited for it, drop a thumbs up and subscribe if you are new. Let's cover yesterday's slow day, the last day of La Liga Team of the Season content really quickly before we get into everything. First of all, marquee matchups on Thursdays are now throwback marquee matchups because the leagues have ended. The trophies have been given out and all of that, and we're into the summertime. The transfer rumors are flowing, and that means we have throwback marquee matchups because there's not really a lot of games going at the moment. Sure, there's some international competitions, the Club World Cup. Maybe they'll do some of those matchups inside of here in the coming weeks, but for now, it's just the throwback marquee matchups. We have a brand new daily login SPC with the objective to combine right there to do every single day. And yesterday on Thursday, we had a very cheap and just quickly worth mentioning, the Perez Martin SPC was our last daily TOTS SPC from La Liga Team of the Season. Very cheap to do if you want a 91 rated fodder card just for a little bit of an 83 or an 84 rated squad, whatever it is. That is there to do. Now, let's go to the Evo section of the game because we did have a new Evo yesterday. It's a free one, and that's honestly the best part about this Tea and Biscuits Evolution. It is max 91 rated. This is the one that was leaked a couple of days ago. Didn't look like it was going to be that good, and that's kind of how it has been delivered. I think some of the stat boosts here are pretty small. Sure, you do get up to 94 passing, and it does give some pretty good playstyle pluses. You get Tiki Taka plus, and you get Incisive Pass plus with Press Proven plus if you don't have a third playstyle plus on a card already. And yeah, the stats are decent. Like, that's not a bad Tielemans card. It only boosts your card up to a 93 rated. Personally, for me though, this might just be one that I skip unless it ends up being a part of a chain evolution for a lower rated card that looks pretty good to you. I mean, it's not necessarily a good sign when you go to Footbin and look at the most popular cards for this evolution and see Gold Rodri and Player of the Month Patrick Guijarro, who has an SBC in this game right now that I would argue is much better than the, not the Player of the Month, the Inform that gets boosted up in the Tea and Biscuits Evo. So that's just my opinion there for this one, but it is free, so we really can't complain too much because free Evos are just even free fodder. Some people are going to do this one just for the 93 rated card to put into an SBC and get some rating out of it. Now, that was yesterday's content. I guess there is one more thing that we should cover before we get to the big release of cards and packs, just because this has kind of been maybe a little bit of an annoying thing. If you've been playing the game a lot, these extra foundations objectives that you might be completing without even knowing. Squad that building and chemistry was one that EA dropped either yesterday or 2 days ago. It feels like they're dropping these for the beginners on foot, but I still don't think the game is free anywhere. So it's kind of an interesting point to make. We have those objectives that feel like they're for people that are just starting the game and learning the game, yet I don't know if the game is free yet anywhere. So if it is, let me know in the comments, but those have been dropping at least every couple of weeks, and we had another one there yesterday. Now, the biggest part of Thursday content was 100% the Chelsea Conference League Road to the Final winners that were added into packs. Now, the best part about this team is it is still 96 rated, 5-star, 5-star for every single card, with Cole Palmer, the man of the match, being 97 rated, and it was dropped on time. I feel like my Spurs cards need to come into packs for another couple hours because these Conference League cards were dropped right at content yesterday, but just like the Spurs cards, they go out of packs on Saturday. So they're in packs right now, and a lot of people are opening packs at the moment because they feel like opening for these Chelsea cards, and with La Liga Team of the Season still in packs for a few more hours today, that's the best time to open packs. I would agree, if I'm being completely honest. Now, looking at this team, there are some nice cards in here. This Reece James card looks very, very good. A huge boost from his Inform. His most recent special card in this game doesn't have that many. Of course, you've got a nice Cucurella card in here. Not all of them look that incredible. I think some of the center backs here, Colwill, Badiashile, and Chaloba. None of those are even as good as the newly upgraded Tosin Adebayo. If you had that card, there's some crazy Evos, of course, of people who were making combinations of that card and Dewsbury Hall. But this team does look very good. Again, I absolutely love this idea of giving the winners of the Conference League, the Europa League, and the Champions League upcoming this weekend the full squad of 96 rated cards, 5-star, 5-star. It's awesome. Like, it's just so much fun to see this dynamic here for Cole Palmer. I literally do a double take every time I look at the card. Just the way, like, the trophy, you see the inside of it, the yellowish gold of the inside of the trophy just throws the card image off for me, at least. But that is a great looking card. It's not a crazy boost for him. Like, if you look at this Cole Palmer, compare it to his team of the seasons and his team of the year card, it's like, wait, this card is 2.6 mil, but these cards are both like 200, 300K. Yeah, sure, he's 5-star, 5-star, and he's got good playstyle pluses, but like that big of a jump there, I don't know. I will say these cards are expensive, but they're great to trade with. Just like the Spurs cards, these cards have started very expensive. They're very rare. I literally had just made 1 million coins. Yes, I've made 1 million coins trading these Chelsea cards, and they're going to be great cards to trade with through the rest of the weekend. They're going to drop a lot, though. Like, I bought some Gustos here, 10 of them or 11 of them for around 480 to 500,000 coins. Just finished selling them all off from 580K at the lowest I sold to 640,000 coins. You're going to have great opportunities to trade with these cards, but they're going to drop today with the pack supply that is open for the new team of the season. Now, I don't think the drops are going to be as big as the Spurs cards because this is Saudi League TOTS and MLS, not La Liga, and a lot of people had saved up packs for last week. However, I do think those cards can be traded with today. We'll talk about that a little bit more in the video, but let's look at what is coming today. It is the Saudi, it is the MLS, and the rest of the world team of the season. It's one of the last TOTS Fridays, maybe one of the least hype TOTS Fridays as well. You think about the big names of La Liga team of the season that are going out of packs today, like the Mbappe, the Bellingham, the Vinny, even the cheaper cards like Rudiger, Valverde, Lewandowski, and Koundé. There's so much value in this La Liga TOTS team, and I think it's actually still a decent investment at the moment because the cards that are coming today, sure, there are some big names and some fun cards for sure. Don't get me wrong. I'm interested in hopefully packing a couple of these cards today from these team of the season squads being released, but I do think that La Liga and what we've just had is going to end up being more hype for a lot of people. But let's look at the cards that are coming at least. Firstly, today, this is the official team of the season for MLS. We got Messi, we got Suarez, we got four PlayStyle Plus players, as you can see here. We've got Moreira as a center back. That card looks pretty solid. Evander as a center attacking mid. Benteke, Ricky Puig, Jordi Alba. This is definitely the trio that a lot of people are going to be going for. Messi, Suarez, and Jordi Alba. Forsberg looks pretty solid. Ragen as a center back. He actually might be kind of a budget beast. He's 6'6" with aerial, bruiser, and anticipate plus. So maybe a cheap card, maybe a fun one to try out. Guzan's going to get team of the season, which is pretty crazy. But most of this team doesn't look that phenomenal, apart from some of the bigger names, right? Ricky Puig, by the way, is not going to have aerial, power shot, and finesse. He's got, I think it's like technical and pinged. It's leaked below one of these other tweets here. He had the wrong playstyle pluses on this image, but you know, Benteke is getting a card. Did he have a foot birthday, or he had a card earlier on this year that was pretty interesting from objectives? I remember, like a cup objective or something. So that's the MLS squad. Again, some big names in there, some fun names, and kind of the same thing here with the MLS and the Saudi League teams. You've got some of, like, since they're kind of known as their retirement leagues, you got some of those cards that maybe you haven't used a ton of, but they've been meta cards in the past, like the Conte and the Benzema that we're going to look at in a second. Now, this is the rest of the world team of the season team. Wu Lee getting a card here. Power shot, low driven, press proven. Ko Sung Bom from the K-League looks really solid. Quintero, Copa Libertadores looks pretty solid. Dompe, remember his inform was a very popular Evo from earlier in the year. Loriente, some of you guys might remember the Loriente. I think it was a Fire and Ice, or maybe it was Winter Wild cards. He's had some promo cards in the past that were very OP. That card looks really good. Rapid, first touch, and low driven. But most of these cards that we see here don't look that crazy, right? I mean, it's kind of like you compare what we just had with La Liga and you look at this and it's like, you know, unless you're a super big fan of any of these clubs or any of these players. Now, we don't have an actual post of the Saudi League players, but I do want to scroll through here and show you guys some of them. Of course, it's headlined by the Ronaldo. This Conte card looks insane. I would so love to get this Conte. Press proven, pinged, anticipate and intercept with 95 passing. Conte's cards were lacking some passing earlier in the year. Even that SBC card that he had and the Globetrotters card that was in packs, 95 passing for this one. That one's going to be a bit pricey. Of course, we still have the Chelsea cards that are in packs, and we're going to have a lot of cards in total in packs this weekend, but is it as hype as La Liga? That's the question I keep asking myself. Milinkovic-Savic might be a fun card to try here. Of course, his older brother, I think it's older brother, Vanja Milinkovic-Savic got the objective card, the goalkeeper, the tall guy, you know. Of course, shapeshifter Vanja Milinkovic-Savic we think of. This is Sergej Milinkovic, but he's got the 90 rated card, the 9 Golan gang, 90s all across the board here. He looks pretty good. Aldasari there for a left mid. Benzema's card, just like Conte's, got a decent bit of hype. Low driven, finesse, first touch, great stats. If that card's 5-5, I would be down to try it out. Ibanez is getting into Saudi League Team of the Season. Just scrolling through these really quickly. Diaby's got 4 playstyle pluses. He's got all the pace. He's got rapid, finesse, technical, and press proven. That's going to be a fun card. We've got Montiel here as a highlights card there. We've got Simakan as a decent looking center back card. And then we've got Joao Cancelo. These are probably the most notable names in this team of the season for the Saudi League. That Cancelo card is also 9 Golan gang with Bruiser, Incisive, and Jockey. He might end up being a really, really meta card. But again, as we take a look at a lot of these cards and compare what we've just had now with La Liga team of the season, sure, there are some fun names, but I really don't think the hype today is with the cards that is in packs. And I do think that's going to mean positive things for the market. We're going to take a look at that in a second. The one thing I will say about opening packs today, or maybe just a little bit of a tip I would give you guys, if you're opening packs before the content drop today, I would skip the premium upgrades. I know premium upgrades are going to expire, but the best upgrade packs to be opening right now with the Chelsea cards in packs and the TOTS cards being from all these different leagues, definitely the 81 plus player pick. Definitely be ripping these. I'm going to do a set of these myself today because I've got a bunch of commons and rares in the club. I'm going to rinse into those and see if I can hit a Messi or Ronaldo, Benzema, Conte, any of those cards today for TOTS. Now, let's talk about the biggest part of content today, and that is the leak of the center back Evo that is a build your own TOTS Evolution. We've had this a couple times this year, actually most notably during Team of the Year. If you guys remember, we had an Evo very similar to this where we built our own center back once again. That's kind of the thing I wish, thinking back now on this, that EA would have changed. Instead of a center back position, why not maybe a striker? Sure, we've had a lot of center back Evos recently. Sure, we've had a lot of striker Evos recently. But since we've already had the chance to build our own center back, maybe building our own something else would have been more fun. Maybe we're being a little bit nitpicky with that one, but this is the concept, allegedly, of this build your own TOTS center back Evo. We're going to build the card with a first evolution, then we're going to be able to build them out with the playstyle pluses of our choosing, and then end up giving the card 99 physical. Now, I do want to stress the point on this. This is a prediction, and, you know, some of these predictions versus what's actually a leak and what's going to end up being true, sometimes there's some truth in these predictions even. It could be a 2-step process, could be a 3-step process, but I do have a couple things that I want to see with this. EA, firstly, do not make this confusing, okay? The last type of Evo that we had for this was the Immortals one, where we created our own Immortals card, and there was so much confusion because we were going back and forth from Evos to objectives, and we had so many different objectives to get done in a certain order that it was so easy to mess up how your Evo was going to end up working out. Hopefully this evolution is just simple. You put a card into an evolution. Maybe you do have to do objectives and claim 2 playstyle pluses out of 7 or whatever. Like, I get that. But then if it's just simply add those playstyle pluses to your card, and then it's over. Like, if it's a 2-step process of Evo the card and then put the playstyle pluses on the card after you claim them from objectives, that's awesome. The easier this is and the least confusing it is, the better. And please, EA, don't make this take forever either. Now, sure, we want the upgrades to be good. We want the playstyle pluses that we have to choose from to be good, which allegedly these are the options here. Bruiser, Intercept, Pinged, Block, Aerial, Jockey, and Long Ball. Of course, you don't see Anticipate Plus here. Commented here by ASY saying the Evo may give Anticipate Plus in the first position here. So, are you going to have to put in a 0 or 1 playstyle plus player? That's another big question with this. But back to my point that I was making. EA, please don't make this take forever. At this stage of the game, we don't want Evos to take forever. I mean, even the Evos that are out right now, all you got to do is just play a couple games, play two, win one, play one. They've been pretty easy recently. We hope that continues. I hope that continues because I don't want to sweat out 20 games of modes to then get this card upgraded to build my own center back team of the season type card, because so many team of the season center backs already on this game are super cheap. If the cards that we get from this look great and the stat boosts are good, which 99 physical, that's intriguing for sure. Choosing my own PlayStyle pluses, that's intriguing. Then this could be a W. But again, we also have to consider the center backs that we already have through evolutions and some of the SBCs that we've had recently, and the fact that cards like Rudiger, Jules Koundé, Inigo Martinez, and Kubarsi are so cheap on the market. This can't be a very expensive Evo. It can't be that, long of an evolution process, because it's not going to feel worth it if it's not pretty easy and it's pretty good stats. So EA, please make it good. Don't make it take forever. Don't make it confusing. And we will be there for this. So that's what we're looking forward to. We don't know the requirements at the moment. That's the biggest thing. This guy, Foot Agent, said, show me your first owner card and I'll tell you if he can be used. Bro has gone radio silent. So does he know or does he not know? I would expect that we would learn some of the requirements for this Evo very soon. Now, people are speculating hardcore, especially since the Evo leaks originally have shown like a Rio is an 88 rated. Some of these lower rated cards have gone up like crazy. You know what's wild here? This Koundé Thunderstruck card is 130,000 coins, and his team of the season is 40K on the market. Like, that's crazy that people are buying this for 130. That's the power of evolutions. It's been happening all year, but just sometimes you look at something like this, and you're like, wow, that's mental, right? It is. Now, the Rio Ferdinand is a card that a lot of people are looking into with this since he was kind of the poster child for the league. His card is, of course, up a lot. There's a lot of center backs that are up for this Evo league. I would just say keep a close eye on Twitter if you're trying to make some coins off of the situation today, or if you have some cards and you want to sell on the hype. Selling on the hype is always the best thing to do with this. Watch out for more leaker tweets as we figure out what the requirements may be today. Now, the rest of the center back market is down, and this created some opportunities to trade yesterday, but I think you're going to see some panic selling once again today on this game based on this center back build your own TOTS evolution that is incoming. Like, I'm looking at some team of the season cards like Upamecano. This is a card that was 250,000 coins, and he was just down below 200K, kind of rebounded back up like we saw with the Van de Ven. I traded with a couple of those center backs yesterday, the Van de Ven, the Cuti Romero, those cards that were down a lot. I think they could come back down again. Some of your more recent meta, Jonathan Todd, maybe even a card like the Pacho team of the season, recent team of the season cards that people have in their team with this leak that is out there, and the hope that it could be good and the sounding fun of creating your own card that there is with this. I think you could see some more panic today. If the Evo's good, center backs could continue to drop, especially the more meta ones, and the cards that fit into it could go up a bit more, but probably just safe to be out of center backs at the moment and not trade with them too much because of this upcoming today. Last thing I will mention is they added a new card design to the code. It's actually in the game. It looks exactly like the normal TOTS Evolution design, but it's called Build Your TOTS Evolution. That's really making us think this is coming today, and this is definitely a Promo Friday type of content piece. So that's the big thing for today. EA, again, hope it's good, not too confusing, and we'll have ourselves a nice time creating our own center backs. Now, Fridays have been giving us 2 Evos every single week. There's this left wing evolution that is leaked right now as well. Doesn't seem to be that crazy hyped, but Player of the Month Vinny does fit. Technical Quick Step Trickster, a stat boost, and you do go to 5-star, and it seems decently open in the requirements. Maradona's 92 rated card fit there. The Hazard, I think is that Fantasy Hazard? I forget what version of Hazard that is. He fits, but it doesn't look like everything fits. 99 pace, this Pedro Neto does not fit. This Barry card does not fit. So that's going to be one that might be free or very cheap, but it could be an evolution that is released today as well. Now, that's enough evolution conversation. Let's talk about SBCs, because we have some names leaked, and of course, it's the MLS and it's a Saudi league. You have some opportunity here for some cool cards, and as of right now, the leakers are saying that the SBCs are not that great, but I view this as hopefully like La Liga, where we have some player SBCs that could be fun names and fun cards to try out. As long as they are cheap, we could be there. Like, we had a great week of SBCs, in my opinion, with the Anthony, with the Patrick Guijarro, and the Balde. Those three really stood out for me as like fun and very affordable SBCs from this last week of La Liga Team of the Season. I think some of these cards leaked could be good too if they're cheap. Insigne. If you guys have not used Insigne before, he is so fun to use in game because he's so short. He's like 5'4", very short in game, but with the high dribbling stats and with the pace that he has, he's kind of like Ben Yedder used to be in this game. His dribbling is incredible. I mean, he has Finesse Plus, so that's going to help him out as well. If this is a card that's like 150,000 coins and just a couple squads to complete, that's a fun card to use for like 10 to 15 games and just try him out. I'm a fan of that one. So Insigne is leaked, but ASY says the rest of the SBCs are not looking good. Now, we do have a couple more names to look over for a potential Friday SBC. Mahrez and Ivan Toney are also leaked as a Saudi League SBC release. I don't know if they're going to be released together, but those are two of the names we have. And I would have to guess that Mahrez would be maybe a promo Friday type of card. Like I would guess maybe Mahrez or Insigne, maybe both of those cards today, since we normally get two SBC players on a Friday as well from the two leagues that are being released. So that Mahrez card, finesse, technical, and first touch, probably going to be 5-star, 5-star. I know we just had Anthony last week, and if you compare Anthony to this card, you could say, well, Anthony's got 99 dribble, but Mahrez has better shooting and passing, you know, and he's going to be most likely 5-star, 5-star. If this is cheap, though, Mahrez is always good in game. I've used him earlier on this year when he had a Globetrotters SBC, used him last year when he had TOTS. It was pretty good. So that's something that could be decent, but again, it's all about the price for me. Same thing with Ivan Toney. We've got a lot of great strikers recently, but he's got low driven and finesse. Maybe a fun card to try if he is cheap. So 2-player SBCs today. There's some other names out there like Dennis Bowanga from LAFC, I believe. Is that what team he plays for? He's leaked as an SBC. Actually, Hugo Lloris is leaked as an SBC as well. And I'm sure we're going to have some more leaks of players that are going to be released during this week of Team of the Season, but they don't look super duper crazy. Now, speaking of SBCs, we're going to get new upgrade packs today too. Just to cover this really quickly, I'm actually interested in the 83x10 because this is kind of a turning point, hopefully, for the upgrade packs. We've been having the 84-7 a lot. You know, we had the 85-5 combo last week. We've had an 83-10 that's been out during the entirety of Team of the Season. From start until now, it's just been the 83-10. EA, with 2 weeks left of Team of the Season, bump this up a little bit. 84-10. 82-20, I don't know, 83-14 instead of the 83-10. This is expiring today, and my expectation is that it would just simply refresh, but I hope something better would come beside that. And the same thing with the 85 plus 2 of 3 pick. Last week we had the 86 plus pick. That might be what returns instead of that today. So probably a couple more upgrade packs. And then the normal things like the Team of the Week upgrade that's expiring today, I would expect that to refresh as well. So with all of this content that is out there right now, what are we feeling for the market? We've already alluded to this. Since it doesn't seem that crazy hype, of course, we're going to be a little careful with center backs. 100% we're going to be careful with that. But I think there are investments to be made on this La Liga Team of the Season. Now, a lot of people have been investing, and there's already been some cards that have been going up in price. We were talking about this a lot yesterday on the stream, and it was kind of a time-sensitive situation because a lot of these cards were down from Rivals Rewards. Hence, look at the price of Valverde here. He was 75 to 77,000 coins, and we were saying on stream yesterday, start looking at buying this card. He looks like a good investment. Now he's 85K. He's going up. Griezmann's another card that I really liked as an investment. He was under 180,000 coins because when you look at these cards, you think, what are people going to be using this weekend with Messi and Ronaldo and red picks? After EA gave out pretty solid red picks during this last week of La Liga, people are going to be at least semi-motivated to play Weekend League off of a decent week of getting good red picks, wanting to use those red picks in game, and the GOATs are possibly there for the red pick if you get really, really lucky. I just think these La Liga TOTS cards look really good for an investment. Now, they are up a little bit, but I think they could go higher today, and I think it's going to be a great opportunity to sell these cards, especially on the cheaper level. I'm talking the Griezmann, the Valverde, I think Lewandowski's even a good investment. Oh my gosh, he's 56K. He was 40s. Yeah, he was under 50,000 coins. We were saying yesterday on stream, pick him up in the 50K range, flat or below. He's starting to rise. Koundé's, even as a center back, going up a little bit. Rudiger, same thing. Inigo Martinez was 210. He's 240. Lamine Yamal was 4 mil, 4.1. He's 4.4. Wow, a lot of these cards are really starting to go up. But I think that shows where this market is headed today. I think prices on the La Liga TOTS cards, Liga F as well, and even some Liga Portugal cards are going to rise up. Look at Icarus. He's almost 900,000. I picked up 2 of him for 770 and 780. He's rising very nice. I think these cards can rise into the night. I don't think we're going to have a crazy Friday night bubble. I know we've been talking about that. That's kind of a phrase that we've coined this year when the market is really high on Friday nights, especially with the Team of the Season Weekend League timing being a little bit different. I do believe there's going to be a Friday night bubble tonight. I don't think it's going to be that crazy, but I will say take the opportunity to buy some cards early today if you see prices you like. Out of pack Team of the Season cards are great as well. If you take a look at the market in general, prices in the last couple of days have really been doing good, especially yesterday since rewards. Look at Elise. He was 520, 530 all week before rewards hit. Rewards hits yesterday. What does his price do? Zoop, straight up to 580, almost 600,000 coins. That's an out-of-packs TOTS card that would be great to trade with right now. Bundesliga, Prem, Serie A Team of the Season cards. Watch these for fluctuations because they are moving. The cards that people want to use, they're fluctuating well. But I will say this, short-term trading window for this, because once we get into the weekend, especially Saturday, Sunday, and especially as we get into Monday, Tuesday, you're going to want to start to be really, really careful because everybody's going to start looking ahead to what is next, and that is Ultimate Team of the Season. So with that being said, the out-of-packs cards are going to be the best to trade with, but I do think you want to be careful with that and maybe try to sell some of those, especially higher rated Team of the Season cards, like anything that's 94, 95 and above has a chance of being re-released into Ultimate TOTS. If they do Ultimate TOTS the same as they have been doing it in the past couple of years, those cards could get re-released, and that means they could drop. Now, what's going to happen is people are going to speculate that they're in. That we won't know exactly who's going to be in Ultimate TOTS for starters just yet, but that is going to make some cards drop. So I would be careful if you have any of the higher rated TOTS cards, even from La Liga. A card like Vinny, very good likelihood he could get re-released, even though he's only 680, 690,000 coins. He could very easily be re-released, and that would make his card drop even from the fact that people will speculate that he gets re-released. So there's going to be some panic on the mid to high tier TOTS market with those cards. I think if you sell tonight or on Saturday, you should be pretty safe with that. So that's kind of my expectations for the market rising. A little bit of panic on center backs, but then hopefully a good time to sell late tonight on Friday, early Saturday, and maybe a time to buy as well for some of these Chelsea cards. I do want to mention, of course, last week, Friday night and on Saturday, these Spurs cards got really low and then they exploded. I do not think that these cards for the Chelsea team are going to drop off as drastic because there's not as much pack supply today. There's not as many people saving packs as there were last week, but I still think you could see a big drop and then some rises. People are going to be wanting to invest in these Chelsea cards because of how well the Spurs cards did last week. We definitely need to see these cards drop off more, though, before trying to invest in them. Now, the very last thing I want to cover today is actually related to stuff coming after Team of the Season. But if you stuck around to the end of the video, we got Shapeshifters news, and we kind of knew that was going to be the promo after Team of the Season because of the leaked name of the season. Guys, next week, a week from now, we'll be entering a new season, which might mean new paid season, which it looks like it is going to be a new paid season. It's going to be a paid and a free, just like we saw for this last season for the very first time, and it's going to be called Shapeshifters. It's going to include Evos, icons, and heroes. Finally, it's about time we got some icons and heroes back in this game in packs, and hopefully for SBCs and objectives and evos and stuff like that. That's good to hear. Now, this is definitely a concept card. Some of the guys responded down here, no, this is just a concept. Do not worry. It is not saying that 5 playstyle pluses are going to be incoming for these cards here at all. But we're going to be talking about this in the upcoming week. But just to mention it, we've got some playstyle pluses that are coming as a part of the paid season pass for sure. Long ball plus, block, intercept, and look at those requirements. Max 96. 96 rated cards are going to be evolvable. Now, right now, if you go to the market and buy a 96 rated card thinking that you're going to evolve it, no, like it's not time to invest in 96 rated Archie Gray because you could put intercept plus on this card. Even though you may want to do it, I would want to do it if I had him. No, you don't want to invest in that right now because it's still going to be a few weeks down the line until we're able to get those playstyle pluses. We did make some good investments last season based on what playstyle pluses were going to be released. I remember buying this Mbappe card for 3.3 3 or 3.2 mil. You can see here, right? He went from 2.8 all the way up to 4.2 while people were buying this card to put all the playstyle pluses on him. Now, is it going to be as hype this time around with only having intercept, block, long ball, and I believe finesse plus is one that's going to be added too? Maybe, maybe not. But that's just kind of something to watch out for in a week or so, not necessarily right now because of where we are at, still waiting for this season to release. But I wanted to kind of quickly mention those at the end of the video today since that is upcoming. But it's going to be a good time to trade. I'm going to watch these Chelsea cards. I'm going to watch the Spurs cards today, and I'm not really saving packs, but we do have enough facilities into the club to just run a set of player picks, and hopefully the pack weight, like what does EA have to lose today if the pack weight is good for the MLS, for the Saudi League team of the season? Like, just drop some good pack weight. We know the Chelsea cards are going to be difficult to pack. That is what it is. I'm not going to spend coins on those cards personally. I know some of you guys are Chelsea fans, and you are, and absolutely go ahead and do that. The 88 times 11s, if you're going to rip a store pack, that's where I got some of my Spurs cards last week. Of course, only opening those with coins, but those are, in my opinion, the best pack statistically to open to try to pack those Chelsea cards. They are in here at about a 7.2% rate. If you go to promo pack section here, there is another pack, a player pick that gives you an 11% chance, an 8% chance, but 325,000 coins for one player versus 325,000 coins for 11 players. I'm taking the 11 players side of this all day long. So that's kind of the situation with the Chelsea cards, and that's enough yapping for me today for a promo Friday. But EA, somehow just deliver a fun promo Friday with the GOATs being back in packs. I'm here for it, all right? Because that's what we're hoping for, and that's what we're waiting to see. And also, we got a big game tomorrow with the Champions League final, and that means more cards like this, like we have for the Conference League and like we had for Spurs. Either Inter or PSG is going to be getting a full 15 set of players released in packs too. I can't wait for that. It's going to be a big day tomorrow. But before we get there, we've got the GOATs in TOTS today. If you're excited for it, drop a thumbs up on the video. Comment down below if you have any questions. And, of course, subscribe if you're new. We've been live streaming today to see what surprises EA have for us and to maybe add a new center back to our Ultimate Team squads. See you there around the content drop today on here, this stream, on YouTube, or on Twitch. And I will see you guys there. Have a great Friday. It's been TheFutAccountant. See you later. Peace out.